All right, welcome to the class, guys. So today we're going to do some kind of editing of a few writing essay samples so that you can check what an actual editing looks like. All right. I have a couple essays. मसँग दुईटा चाहिँ task 2 को essay छ IELTS मा अरु अर्को चाहिँ तपाईको task 1 को essay छ. So that's what I'm going to do an editing for. And generally के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि हामीहरुको कसैले पनि राइटिङहरु राम्ररी एडिट गर्दिएको छैन के. That's why our writing always remains poor. अनि अर्को प्रब्लम भनेको चाहिँ कहिले पनि एडिट नभयो भने चाहिँ तपाई you get used to writing bad writing style, right? You have bad writing and bad grammar and that keeps on being continuously reinforced. किन कसैले पनि करेक्ट गरिदिएको छैन यो रङ हो भने छैन. अनि बारम्बार हामी चाहिँ त्यही मिस्टेक दोहोऱ्याइरहेको हुन्छ. झन् त्यो मिस्टेक चाहिँ गहिरो संस्कार क्रिएट गर्दै जान्छ, right? It creates more and more deep conditioning. And therefore, in the IELTS writing section, we tend to score not as much, right? किनभने नेपालीहरूलाई राइटिङ सेक्सन नै सबसे गाह्रो लागिरहेको हुन्छ जेनरली. सो रिडिङमा आएर स्टुडेन्ट हु स्कोर लाइक 9 out of 9 in reading, 9 out of 9 in listening, but he had only a 6.5 in the writing section, right? And he came to me just a week before he took the exam, and I gave him 5 edits, and I think if he hadn't received those kinds of edits from me, he would have scored only a 5.5. So someone as talented as that kind of person who is scoring 9, but in writing they are scoring only 5.5, right? So edit गरेपछि बल्ल they had some kind of improvement. Okay, so anyways, you guys will see what an actual editing looks like. All right, so let's look at this essay over here. The question topic is: every country should produce enough of everything that the country needs so it does not have to rely on imports. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Use a specific reason and examples to support your position. All right. सो कुनै कन्ट्रीले चाहिँ आफूलाई पुग्ने जति उत्पादन गर्नुपर्छ कि भन्ने क्वेसन छ यो, होइन? इट्स रिलेटेड टु बोथ इकोनोमिक्स, इट्स रिलेटेड टु ग्लोबलाइजेसन, it's related to politics to a certain extent, right? So let's look at the answer, right? With the development of technology and people's reach to the sophisticated materials, we are all are connected and dependent with the world. So first, dependent on the world, right? So this is one kind of error. Your cost error, your preposition error, right? So preposition error is quite common actually. We make a lot of that kind of mistakes, right? So dependent with dependent on the world. So, all right. So then when a country import, again, when a country import, so country is a singular noun, right? So when you have a singular noun for a present tense, you use a v5, right? So it should be country imports. But this person has like written the article correctly. यसमा all लेखा छ, कतिजनाले यो पनि मिस्टेक गर्नुहुन्छ है. So country imports the goods and services compared to exporting the other countries, right? Okay, so this sentence needs some kind of rewriting. It's not good at all. I think what they mean is when a country imports the goods and services, imports more goods and services compared to exporting to other countries. So, comma, something something something. यसमा द भन्ने चाहिँ हुँदैन. So the is another kind of error, right? Article error भएको छ यहाँ. So this is another kind of error, right? And you guys need to check, okay? कुन बेला अ लेख्ने, कुन बेला एल लेख्ने, कुन बेला द लेख्ने चाहिँ you guys really need to check on the अब इन्टरनेटमा हुन्छ कि ग्रामर बुक सल्लाहबाट हुन्छ कसरी हुन्छ नि. So if you're editing from me, of course I would like edit your writings and give you more lessons. But if you're just checking out this video, then please check online, all right? So अब यसमा अर्को के मिस्टेक छ भनेर when भनेर भनेपछि we need some kind of continuity. Okay, so I'm expecting some kind of continuity. All right, यसमा चाहिँ continuous के हुनु पर्यो या छैन. So this is not a right sentence, so this guy is missing something major over here. अनि एक्जामको बिगिनिङमा नै यस्तो किसिमको मिस्टेक गर्यो भने स्कोर अलिकति घट्छ, होइन? किनभने फर्स्टमा नै मिस्टेक हो. Every country may not have the enough resources to produce everything that the country needs, right? Every country may not have, अब यहाँ द चाहिएन. So this is another error, right? यसमा चाहिँ उहाँले राइट लेख्नुभयो तर यहाँ द हुँदैन. May not have enough resources to produce everything that it needs. The country को सट्टा it needs गरेको राम्रो हुन्छ है त. अनि so let's just let me actually as I what do you call it, as I edit, let me actually rewrite as well, okay? Because I want you guys to see what edited writing looks like. Dependent on the world, Then we have when a country imports goods and services compared to exporting to other countries, something, 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 and I'll add to it based on what comes out. Okay, so every country may not have enough resources to produce everything that it needs. Okay, so मैले it भन्ने use गरे because we need some kind of pronoun, right? We have been learning since we're small that we need to use pronouns instead of nouns, so that it's not repetitive, and that's just the proper writing style, right? But still we make mistakes. किनभने हामीले ग्रामर रुल त पढ्न पढाएको छौँ बच्चेदेखि 17 18 वर्ष 20 वर्ष भइसक्यो 25 वर्ष भइसक्यो ग्रामर रुल पढेको बट नो वान हेज रियली टोल्ड अस कन्सिस्टेन्टली कि यस्तो केसमा यस्तो लेखेर हुन्छ होइन तपाईँ कस्तो हुन्छ भने यही कुरा मिस्टेक तपाईँले 20 चोटि दोहोऱ्याउनु भयो एन्ड यु कम टु मी आई करेक्टेड 20 टाइम्स भने पनि तपाईँले अटोमेटिकली चाहिँ यति बेला यस्तो लेख्ने भनेर आउँछ क्या द्याट इज द ब्युटी अफ गेटिङ थिङ्स एडिटेड राइट then hence I strongly disagree on topic every country should produce enough of everything for their people rather than a country should produce products that can produce at low cost and has availability enough resources. So there is a lot of things wrong about this sentence, so I'm just going to rewrite, right? So hence, sorry about that, hence I strongly disagree that every country should produce enough of everything, you know, for its people. So हेर्नु है अब यहाँ Yeah, something interesting, right? So there is another common mistake that Nepalese make is yeah, every country भनेको छ अनि हामीले चाहिँ त्यसलाई every भन्नलाई there भन्ने हुन्छ कि because we think every means all. But every सँग चाहिँ singular जान्छ कि so every person हुनु पर्यो. Every country भनेको छ which is right? But it's a singular word, right? So singular means we need some kind of singular pronoun. It goes with singular pronoun as well as singular सँग related verb, which is present tense को केसमा V5, right? Every person does. Every person eats rather than eat, right? यही कुरा हो यो singular noun so every is not all. Okay, so I strongly disagree that every country should produce enough of everything for its people अनि यसमा IT मैले हेर्ने apostrophe लेखेको छु, it has to be like this, right? So basically another common error that I just found was that I committed myself for some reason, I guess because I was typing, was everything for its people, right? Then we can say that I strongly disagree that every country should produce enough of everything for its people. And then instead, rather than a fully stop gunning, instead it should produce products that it can produce at a low cost. Low cost, it can produce at a low cost and has availability of enough resources for. मैले यहाँ फर भन्ने थपेँ सो दिस इज अनदर प्रेपोजिसन एरर है कता प्रिपोजिसन लेख्ने भने झुक्रिन्छ यहाँ यति लेखेँ मैले इन्स्टेड इट सुड प्रड्युस प्रडक्ट्स अर्को मैले के गरेँ भने एउटा अ भन्ने थपेँ लो कस्टमा यहाँ हेर्नु भने अ छैन बट मैले अ थपेँ अर्को भनेको मैले सेन्टेन्स ब्रेक डाउन गरेँ त्यो लामो सेन्टेन्स थियो आई ब्रोक इट डाउन okay so I broke it down into 2 sentences. This is something that you guys need to do as well. Okay, so unless you have like very perfect grammar, like a completely perfect grammar, don't try to write like long sentences like this. Okay, try to write simple sentences, break those sentences down. So now we look at this paragraph. This is like, you know, suddenly you 5.5 go as paragraph theory, suddenly it's jumping to 8. Okay, you look at this, it's really good. Let me read this out for you. Okay, with the development of technology and people's reach to the sophisticated materials, we all are connected and dependent on the world. Okay, we all are connected to what that it demands, right? So we all are connected with each other. Okay, अर्को मैले के देखेँ भन्दाखेरि people's access to the sophisticated material. So अर्को भनेको along with grammar एसेमा के हुन्छ भने word choice हुन्छ है. So word choice also takes some time and expertise, and it also requires editing so that you guys will learn what a word choice is, right? What proper words are in different contexts. अब एकदमै राम्रो हुन थालिसक्यो राइटिङ है. सो मैले के पनि गाह्रो भोक्याबुलरी युज गरेको छैन. मैले खालि सिम्पल करेक्सन गरिदिरहेको छु ग्रामरको सिम्पल वर्ड अनि मैले चेन्ज गरिदिरहेको छु. आई हेभन्ट डन अ लट. ओके, सो नाउ लेट्स लुक एट अनदर प्याराग्राफ. ओके, there are more than 200 countries on earth. Okay, so on the earth हुन्छ. So there are more than 200 countries on the earth. There are more than 200 countries on the earth अनि हेरौँ and they are different naturally, geographically and people ethnic groups. अब योसम्म ठिक छ, they are different naturally ठिक छ, geographically ठिक छ, but and people ethnic groups भनेको it doesn't make sense. Okay, so maybe let me try to say there are more than 200 countries on the earth and they are different naturally and geographically, and I think what that means is actually culturally, right? Culturally includes what this person is trying to say. So if this person was actually online, I would have asked him, but I think that's pretty much what he's trying to say. So you see, naturally, geographical and cultural, यसबाट हामीले के देख्छ भन्दाखेरि राइटिङमा एउटा कन्सिस्टेन्सी हुन्छ. You need to be consistent. You need to be consistent about subject and object. You need to be consistent about, like subject and pronouns, right? एउटा किसिमको सिंगुलर हो कि प्लुरल हो. सिंगुलर सब्जेक्ट सिंगुलर नाउन छ भने सिंगुलर प्रोनाउन हुनु पर्यो. Plural nouns and plural pronoun हुनु पर्यो. That kind of consistency is extremely important in English writing, right? So this is also similar pattern, and this is I guess they're different naturally, geographical and culturally. So your मैले एउटै pattern बनाएँ. Next look at this. There will be need of raw materials and enough resources while producing everything, but all country may not have the access, right? Okay. There will be need of raw materials, enough resources while producing everything, but all countries may not have the access. Okay. For instance, most of the petroleum are produced from Arabic countries. Seafoods are collected from countries that are connected to sea. Okay. So now यो example लेख्ने तरिका राम्रो छ. कतिपय नेपाली हाम्रो नेपाली इजी लेखिदिनुहुन्छ है. सो एक्जाम्पल दिने बेलामा इजी यस्तो यस्तो लेख्ने चलन छ, अथवा चाहिँ दिस इज रङ, ओके, अथवा चाहिँ सच एज पनि लेख्ने छ, दिस इज गुड, बट बिचमा लेखिदिने क्या, सेन्टेन्सको बिचमा लेखिदिने चलन छ, which is nice, but we have to be careful about it. Okay, so this is one common mistake, because you talk, I mean, not common mistake, as in this is the place where you can make common mistakes. Okay, because example writing is extremely important in an IELTS writing. That's like a common thing that we do in any kind of writing. But if you don't know how to write the example correctly, then you'll make a lot of mistakes, right? So example, like that. For instance, for example, भनेर सुरु गर्दा राम्रो छ. यो मान्छेले लेख्नु भएको ठिक छ है, किन सुरु गर्ने बेला यसरी नै सुरु गर्ने, सेन्टेन्स ब्रेक गर्ने, क्यापिटल एन्ड फर इन्स्टेन्स. अब यसमा फर इजी भनेर नलेख्ने. So this is wrong. Okay, so this easy is already in it itself means for example. And also अर्को कुरा भनेको चाहिँ, this is an outdated system. Okay, we're still like using some kind of very old like British system. You easy लेख्ने चलन चाहिँ no one really uses it these days. Okay, all right. So there will be need of raw materials and enough resources while producing everything, when producing everything, but all country may not have the access. But all one is अब यहाँ अर्को mistake. Every भन्दा चाहिँ country हुन्छ, but all भन्दा चाहिँ countries हुन्छ. Why? Because after all you need a plural noun, right? So something like this, plural noun. Good. So let me rewrite that before I miss it completely. So there will be need of raw materials and enough resources while producing everything, but all countries may not have the access. All right. Now, for instance, most of the petroleum are produced from Arab countries. Seafoods are collected from countries that are connected to sea. अब यो सुरु गर्ने बेला ठिक थियो. अब यहाँ के मिस्टेक भन्दा एउटा एन्ड एउटा छुटेको, किन दिज आर टु डिफरेन्ट एक्जाम्पल्स, राइट? अब यसपछि पनि अर्को एक्जाम्पल भयो, कमा र एन्ड हुनु पर्थ्यो, तर यो दुईटा एक्जाम्पल लिस्ट गरेर राखेको बेला एउटा एन्ड चाहिन्छ बिफोर है. सो तिनवटा लिस्ट गर्दाखेरि पनि लास्टको भन्दा अगाडि एन्ड चाहिन्छ. सो फर इन्स्टेन्स, मोस्ट अफ द पेट्रोलियम is, okay, so petroleum is a uncountable noun, right? Petroleum ka r hundaina, petroleum is huncha. Petroleum is produced from Arabic countries, and seafoods are collected from countries that are connected to seas. यसमा सी मात्र भन्नु भएन, सीज भन्नु पर्यो. एन्ड अर्को भनेको मैले एउटा एन्ड थपेँ, अर्को मैले मोस्ट अफ द पेट्रोलियम इज भनेको छु. सो अनकाउन्टेबल नाउन पछि इज आउँछ, आर हुँदैन, नट आर. You see? So यो हामीलाई बच्चैदेखि पढाएको रुल हो नि, हैन त? बट वी स्टिल मेक मिस्टेक. ओके, इट्स भेरी कमन, एकदम कमन छ यस्तो किसिमको एररहरू. अनि यस्तै यस्तै ग्रामर एरर गर्ने भएकोले हामीले कहिले पनि राइटिङको राम्रो ल्याउँदैन कि, बिकज वी हेभ लाइक एउटा त स्ट्रक्चर राम्रो हुनु पर्यो, अर्को चाहिँ ग्रामर राम्रो हुनु. ग्रामर इज लाइक वान अफ द वर्स्ट थिङ्स द्याट नेपाली स्टुडेन्ट्स कमिट इन देयर राइटिङ्स. ओके, एज आई हेभ सेड बिफोर, I had a student who scored a 9 out of 9 in listening and reading, right? Must be very smart, but their writing was very bad, okay? Like really, very bad. So that's why they scored maximum of 6.5. Edit nagare only 5.5 pani ल्याउनु हुन्छ कि ल्याउनु हुँदैन, I was not really sure, okay? But because this guy was smart, he learned all this thing in just 1 week. He improved a lot, okay? And there's more room for improvement. Now, instead of producing enough, a country needs to produce products. Instead of producing enough, a country needs to produce products which has enough raw materials. Export of the products environment friendly. Okay, so this is completely wrong kind of sentence grammatically. It needs a total rewriting. It will increase the production and reduces the manufacturing cost, delivery cost. यसमा के प्रब्लम छ? It will increase the production and reduces the manufacturing. यो will ले चाहिँ reduces भन्ने खोजेको कि जस्तो देखिन्छ, जोडिन आउँछ. सो इङ्ग्लिसमा त्यस्तो इस्यु हुन्छ, बट अल्दो ही मिन्ट लाइक इटले मात्र गर्न खोजे, उहाँले चाहिँ एन्ड पछि एन्ड इट रिड्युसेस भन्न खोजे. तर यहाँ विल इन्क्रिज लेखिसकेपछि इट रिड्स लाइक इट विल रिड्युसेस. एन्ड वी नो द्याट इन सिम्पल फ्युचर वी निड अ विल प्लस V1, right? That's the structure for the simple future. That means that is completely wrong. So we need to edit that. So let's see. So first I'm going to say instead of producing everything that a country needs, it needs to focus on products for which it has sufficient raw materials, expertise on production, and it has sufficient raw materials and expertise on production. Now I'm going to break the sentence because it's difficult to include that last point about your point included in that sentence. It needs to focus on products for which it has sufficient raw materials and expertise in production. It also needs to focus on those products in whose production it can maintain environmental concerns, right? Environmental, I say it can maintain environmental, some kind of what environmental, in whose production it needs to focus on those products in whose production it can maintain environmental standards, right? Safe environmental standards or good sound environmental standards, right? So यो कुरा लास्टको कुरा यतिकै सजिलो थिएन है, one यतिकै यहाँ जोड दिनु भयो. It was a good point. I think that was a good point, but it needed more clarification, right? Sometimes you need to flesh out, right? Remember this word, guys. You guys, sometimes we need to flesh out more, right? We need to use more words and then explain it. So now last one is it will increase the production and resources. So again, so मैले भने will पछि त्यो आउँदैन. It will increase the production and will reduce the manufacturing cost, delivery cost. Maybe he meant manufacturing and delivery cost. Okay, great. Now next one, I think the next paragraph. So additionally, when a country produces in mass and expertise on of product, they can export to the other many countries and import foreign currencies. Okay, so additionally पछि comma चाहिन्छ. So again guys, okay, so यो अर्को common error हो. Additionally पछि comma चाहिन्छ, however पछि comma आउँछ, similarly पछि comma चाहिन्छ, in addition पछि comma चाहिन्छ, right? So all of these things, okay? So मैले 1.5x गरेको हैन, 1.5x गरेँ हैन, I just type really fast, okay? So additionally, when a country produces in mass and expertise on a product, right? Okay, so maybe I think he means additionally when a country produces in mass and has expertise on a product. Again, they. UK mistakes are country is a singular noun and we have a plural pronoun. We need to be consistent, right? And one of the things we need to be consistent about is noun and pronoun consistency, right? This is another kind of like grammar rule. नाउन एन्ड प्रनाउन कन्सिस्टेन्सी यो पनि एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ है. सो तपाईँले चाहिँ गुगल गर्ने बेला यसरी गुगल गर्दै गर्दै रुल पढ्नु होला है, त्यसरी सिक्न सकिन्छ. Will reduce the manufacturing delivery cost. So additionally, when a country produces in mass and has expertise on a product, it can export to other many countries. It can export to many other countries. So मैले rearrange गर्दै other many को साथ many other countries and will be able to. So यसमा अलिकति लोजिकल यहाँ अलि छैन, कनेक्सन छैन, यस्तो गरेपछि यस्तो हुन्छ भन्न खोजे, but it's not really making sense. Okay, so and will be able to import foreign currencies, right? So this is what you need to do. Now similarly, so what is correct about this? Similarly पछि उहाँले कमा लेख्नु भएको छ, that's quite good. Okay, similarly, if a country has no enough resources to produce any products, however they can create recreational place and tourism based place to attract to the people from different countries. So I think what he means is similarly, if a country does not have, has no भन्ने हुँदैन है, does not have. So does not have, has no को साथ does not have लेख्नु पर्यो. Does not have enough resources to produce any products, then however then it can create recreational, so it can focus on recreational tourism, right? attract people from different countries. I think this is the case of Nepal, right? We don't have enough products, but we can definitely focus on recreational tourism, and that is our strength. But maybe some countries are really bad in terms of their like situation. They don't have the natural resources, and they also don't have places to attract people, right? So that's very very possible from different countries. Now, tourism is also best source for collecting foreign currency from tourists. Okay, so tourism is also a best source for collecting foreign currency from tourists. All right, then from tourists, right? From tourist हुनु पर्यो यहाँ tourist मात्र छ यस्तोले नि फरक पर्छ कि त from or tourist भन्नु पर्यो, but that won't really make that much sense in this context, so you need to use the plural now. Then the tourism based countries, okay, so the tourism based, but मैले एउटा hyphen use गरेँ, this called hyphen or a dash, right? This particular like symbol, the hyphen, the sorry, the tourism based countries. Again, what is the problem here? Yeah, plural nouns, so plural noun भएपछि we need to add in the present tense, right? The tourism based countries have to develop the infrastructure that will comma चाहिएन, that will attract the customers, right? Okay, now he's repeating a lot of things, so I'm not going to say the same thing again and again. Okay, so okay, now that's gone. The importing cost of the any products may be low than producing same on own country due to availability of the resources. Okay, the importing cost of any products may be low than producing same on own country due to availability of resources. यहाँ त धेरै गएर error छ, so I'm not really even checking at it. Is checking it. There's a lot of error. There are a lot of errors over there, so I think this is good so far, the paragraph. Okay, and then the next one is, in conclusion, in my opinion, so we don't need that. In conclusion भन्ने पुग्यो, a country should produce enough of what they can, but not everything. Okay, the production cost could be high compared to the compared to importing the same. Very good point. Okay, so hence a country should produce anything they have enough resources. Okay, so उहाँले एउटै कुरा भने भने गर्नु खोज्नु, so I think I'm just gonna combine this sentence. Now look at how I'm combining. Okay, so in conclusion, since the production cost since the production cost of a yes the one since the cost of production could be higher, right? Higher, we need a comparative adjective, higher compared to cost of producing something. So cost of production, cost of producing something could be higher compared to importing the same. Our country should produce enough of what it can. Again, another error, right? What it can, but Sunday छुटिसकेको थियो error, but finally I found the error, right? Because that's just what's my training is in, right? So अब यो पढ्नु त सेन्टेन्स कति राम्रो भयो. In conclusion, since the cost of producing something could be higher compared to importing the same, a country should produce enough of what it can, but not everything, right? So यसमा अझै पनि राम्रो बनाउन मिल्ने धेरै ठाउँ छ. फर इक्जाम्पल आइडियाहरू अझै एउटा एडिट गर्नुपर्ने छ, यसमा आइडिया एडिट गरेको छैनौँ. अर्को स्ट्रक्चरली आई थिङ्क दिस इज फाइन, द एसे लास्टमा कन्क्लुजन लेख्नु भएको छ, अझै पनि थप्न मिल्ने ठाउँमा छ. बट द फोकस अफ दिस भिडियो वाज अन एडिटिङ द ग्रामर एन्ड rewriting certain sentences that are grammatical errors. Right now, compared to this essay, अब यो essay पढ्नु त मैले यहाँ डट 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 छ, यो थट सघाउन पाएको छैन, किनभने I really need to know like what he was trying to say, right? I could have added myself, but the focus once again is on the grammar, right? So let's read out this together, okay? So you guys will really see the difference. अब कति स्मुथ छ हेर्नु, त्यही कुरा छ, मैले केही vocabulary add गरेको छैन. I've just edited the grammar, edited the sentence structures, and it's beauty, right? With the development of technology and people's access to the sophisticated materials, we all are connected with each other and dependent on the world. Right? We all are connected with each other and are dependent on the world. Okay? Yoda earth should it. When a country imports more goods and services compared to exporting to other countries, something, then every country may not have enough resources to produce everything that it needs. Hence, I strongly disagree that every country should produce enough of everything for its people. Instead, it should produce products that it can produce at low cost and has availability of enough resources for. Right, this article is very beautiful over here. There are more than 200 countries on the earth, and they are different naturally, geographically, and culturally. I think the earth should be capital. There will be need of raw materials and enough resources while producing everything, right? But all countries may not have the access. Okay, so this is still not a great sentence, but you know, it's far better. Okay, so For instance, most of the petroleum is produced from Arabic countries, and seafoods are collected from countries that are connected to seas. Okay, so instead of producing everything that a country needs, it needs to focus on products for which it has sufficient raw materials and expertise in production. It also needs to focus on those products in whose production it can maintain sound environmental standards. Remember, मैले एउटा अलिकति फ्लेस आउट गर्नको लागि थपिदिएको थिएँ है. Then it will increase the production and will reduce the manufacturing and delivery cost. Okay, सो तपाईँले स्क्रिनसट लिनु होला, यो पनि लिनुहोस्, यो पनि लिनुहोस्, स्क्रिनसट लिएर हेर्नु होला लाइक कति डिफरेन्स छ भनेर है. Additionally, when a country produces in mass and has expertise on a product, it can export to many other countries and will be able to import foreign currencies. Similarly, if a country does not have enough resources to produce any products, then it can focus on recreational tourism to attract people from different countries. Tourism is also best source for collecting foreign currency from tourists. The tourism-based countries have to develop the infrastructure that will attract the customers. In conclusion, since the cost of producing something could be higher compared to importing the same, a country should produce enough of what it can, but not everything. All right. So this is what an editing looks like. अब यो ग्रामरको कारणले गर्दाखेरि मात्र पनि यो 4.55 आउने छ भने 7.5मा गइसक्यो है. यो स्ट्रक्चरहरू बाँकी छ, आइडियाज रिफाइन गर्न बाँकी छ. But in terms of grammar, I mean, it's not just 7.5. Okay, so I'm just being a little humble. In terms of grammar, right? Writing ko चारवटा different aspects. So grammar ko case ma, this is like a 9 out of 9 now. Okay, it's really good grammar. So this is the actual editing. And once again, यस्तो किसिमको edit तपाईँहरूको writing कहिले पनि नभएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि न, you are never really improving your writing, right? कहिले पनि improve हुन पाएको छैन. So if you want your writing edited, please like contact me. I'll put the link below whatever I'm putting it, the YouTube or TikTok, whatever I'm sharing this video in. I'll be putting my Telegram profile like below that. So please send a message, right? So, and I have like very cheap, very costly and affordable kind of like writing passages. You can see that it takes a lot of time for me to do the edits. And you can also see that this kind of edits, no one is offering this kind of things online or in actual classes. Okay, so please be mindful of that, and have a good day.